Hey traders, checking into the cryptocurrency space today. Bounce is following through on the daily time frame as we correlate with the broader stock market doing the same. Are our bottoms set? Are the bulls going to take back over? We're zoomed out to the daily time frame and I'll show you what I need to see. We'll also go over a little bit of trade review. So the last video where we checked in 2 days ago, it was the bear flag confirming and lacking any follow through. So lower high and lower low. I had no exposure at that point in time. There was broader market stock weakness, but as I was doing the video, I was establishing a trade game plan. I had no trade game plan before I did that video, and after that video, about 10 to 15 minutes afterwards, I was entering trades. So I just want to highlight the importance of getting outside your brain. And even if you're recording a video to yourself, if you're confident enough in technical analysis, pretend that you're me. What would Dan say analyzing this chart? That is how I did it when I was emulating other technical analysts 11 years ago. Maybe not that long. About 11 years ago. Yep. And that is a major step that I took in my own trading, was doing my own analysis. So record your own video, talk to yourself, and put your ideas out there. Getting out of your head is so important. So after going over the video yesterday, saw some trades that I liked and made entries. I forgot to save the post where I made those entries, but I posted it on Twitter. And it was in Luna and AVAX. We'll do trade review first, then we'll go over the charts. So why was I looking to enter? Number one, I had no crypto exposure. And I said to myself, okay, well, if the Bitcoin bulls are going to turn this around and start a real daily bounce after the daily bear flag confirmed with zero follow through, and if the broader stock market is going to bounce, which I was looking for, big 4-day drop. I was watching QQQ as my guide, and a big bullish reversal candle formed on that day. So both of those reasons are why I was scouting bullish entries in crypto positions. The dollar also just broke key support. The dollar is starting monthly consolidation for the first time in 7 months. That is very notable. That's a good thing for bulls, crypto, stocks, and commodities. So that's another reason that Bitcoin is seeing daily bounce follow through. So we played the zoom out game. And at that point in time, we were about right here. When I did the video, we had bounced, but we had not changed the hourly trend yet. Then we changed the hourly trend. Then we needed a 4-hour trend change. So we zoom out. Then we changed the 4-hour trend. Okay, now we need a daily trend change. Zoom out. For me, I'm looking at a major resistance zone up in the 47 to 48,000 range. So a lot of tops between pretty much the 48s, the low 48,000s. So I am viewing anything under that as a daily lower high. You may look at this and say, well, what about our 42.8 thousand daily lower high? Yes, that is an important resistance level, but it's not a big enough pivot to mean anything with the bigger picture trend for me. Condense it to the 2-day time frame and you'll see why it doesn't even show up. Yet that 48 level does. So I need to see this bounce top out wherever it does. The more space the bulls create for themselves, the better. To set that higher low, when we lose the 4-hour uptrend, it's the first indication that the daily bounce is topped out. We then have to form a higher low and a higher high. We're testing daily EMA 12 resistance, which we have been rejecting from in the past. I forgot the trade review. We'll do it when we get to those coins. So 4-hour uptrend is our guide. Anything above 42.4 is just another 4-hour higher low. As long as the bulls have a 4-hour uptrend going, we're not topping out on the bounce just yet. Bears at this point are starting to scout entries, either bulls that are looking to hedge swing positions or bears that are looking for trades. They're looking for signs of the bulls slowing down. We're looking for the same thing. Again, QQQ is doing the same thing. On Twitter, I posted the chart yesterday where the 5-minute time frame of Bitcoin and QQQ were the exact same charts. We have a 3-day bounce underway. 2 days ago marked the bottom. QQQ were scouting a daily lower high, and the bulls have to change the daily trend back in their favor. So I am absolutely utilizing information in the stock market world. I can't stress enough how in the last 4 years, crypto trading has benefited my stock trading and stock trading has benefited my crypto trading invaluably. And it is still following through as long as these correlation remains. And even without the correlations, natural gas USD, I've been scouting this monthly higher low in natural gas, the commodity, over the last 2 weeks. Why was I scouting this monthly higher low? What did Bitcoin do? Breakout, monthly higher low off EMA 12. Growth stocks did it, NIO did it first. My biggest swing trade in stock positions in 2021 was ARKK, massive breakout to all-time highs, 4 months of consolidation, monthly EMA 12. That's where I entered. That was my best stock swing trade. My best crypto swing trade was Bitcoin, same exact pattern. Breakout to all-time highs, few months of pullback to monthly EMA 12 support. Now we had natural gas just do the exact same thing. I now love this pattern. Massive breakouts, monthly consolidation, EMA 12 support as a visual guide, and massive gains off of these lows. I did not trade natural gas. I have not traded natural gas in years, but I know there are traders out there who have benefited from this 30% plus move over the last couple of weeks. And the most recent way that my Bitcoin and crypto trading has been impacted by stocks is this current bounce. So I'm watching QQQ. It will be very notable to me if QQQ fails the high of the day and breaks the low of the day to confirm an hourly downtrend, which would indicate the top of the daily bounce is likely set. If we see a new high of the day, then the top of the bounce is likely not set at this point. I'm going to be entering a bearish position. I can hedge. I can't short on Coinbase. And right now I still have half of my swing positions on Luna and AVAX. I can enter SQQQ, which is a bearish 3 times leveraged ETF of QQQ. And if we do top out on these bounces, I will make profit in my stock account while my crypto accounts drop a bit. Long story short, trade and watch all markets, not in your first couple of years. When you get comfortable, when you get consistent, then branch out. And that opens up a whole world of additional insight. So daily trend change needed. Dominance chart, pulling back, not surprising because the daily bounce is seeing altcoins bounce more significantly. Again, this is a very consistent pattern that we see time and time again. Ethereum, significant bounce, daily EMA 12, which we've rejected from in the past. Anything under 38.94 is just a daily lower high. Patient bulls at this point are not doing anything until we see daily consolidation. Right now, if you're not in a bullish position, you're saying, great, bounce, get more follow through. I don't care. I'll see you on the higher low. I'll have a stop level to be going off of. And I'll try and position for the daily trend change. An aggressive bull is going to be looking at the 12-hour for a higher low to attempt that entry. I was interested in Ethereum and Bitcoin for increasing my crypto exposure, but I didn't get a spot that I liked. What I wanted to see was an ETH BTC pullback here and a confirmed 4-hour trend change, and I would have entered ETH USD on that 4-hour consolidation of the ETH BTC chart, but we never consolidated. So now I'm just waiting for the daily. Tons of space for a daily lower high, but I know bigger picture, I'm scouting a monthly higher low on this pairing, and I am watching for a daily higher low. And I'll be interested in entering Ethereum when ETH BTC and when ETH USD are seeing consolidation. And again, it may be the 12-hour, it'll probably be the 12-hour time frame where I'll scout a 12-hour higher low entry. And I know that's something I'm watching for in the next 2 to 3 days. Patiently waiting. So Luna, when I did the video yesterday, 2 days ago, why was I interested in Luna? A number of reasons. A confluence of signals. Multiple signals aligning. Look at the weekly EMA 12. We have bounced off of this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Weekly inside bar, 12-hour time frame, the higher low. I was entering on the 12-hour higher low, just like I'm looking for now on ETH, a 12-hour higher low. That's what I did on Luna, and I entered W Luna USD, which is the listing on Coinbase. Not as liquid as I would like, so I trade with a bit smaller position, but the percentage moves are certainly worthwhile. We are over 20% above our low. So entered at 70, and now we are up 12% plus. And again, it was just entering for a 12-hour higher low. And that was it. And it confirmed. And I exited half this morning. I forget where, maybe the 77s. So I'm now out half. I'm giving the bulls a chance to continue. If they keep the hourly uptrend, if they keep hourly EMA 12, I'll keep half my position. Bigger picture, I'm scouting a weekly lower high unless crypto bulls start pouring in the volume. But anything under $103.60 is a weekly lower high. My target initially was the mid-80s for a fairly conservative target. But again, like everybody else, we're going to have to change the daily trend eventually, and I don't want to sit through daily consolidation in the swing position. So whenever we top out, we'll need a daily higher low and higher high to have confidence that our weekly higher low is indeed being set. It's shaping up that way, but it is likely to just be a weekly inside bar this week. Another reason I liked Luna was Luna BTC. Look at the weekly here. It's stronger than its US dollar pairing. There are no red flags on this BTC pairing chart whatsoever, and it's pretty close to all-time highs. So Luna Bulls, nice and solid, but daily trend change is needed. I'll probably exit my entire position and then maybe reload on a daily higher low. But again, patiently waiting until there are more signs of short-term weakness. AVAX, why did I enter here? Highlighted the weekly equilibrium. I love this support hold. It's a beautiful crystal clear weekly tightening range. 12-hour was the exact same thing. I entered on the 12-hour higher low. Playing off the recent low, we confirmed the 12-hour trend change, so the daily bounce is underway. I'm viewing anything under 117.53 as a daily lower high. We'll need the trend change here as well. And I will then anticipate a weekly lower high, anything under 127.44. And I know that I'll be very interested in this weekly equilibrium when it eventually breaks, probably sometime in February. Keep a list next to your computer and write things down, because there are a bunch of beautiful patterns that are longer term time frames. You don't want to forget them. You don't want to forget this is a weekly equilibrium. You don't want to forget that Sol is looking for a monthly higher low, or that our Metaverse names are looking for a monthly higher low. AVAX BTC is stronger. We're not in a weekly equilibrium. We had a little higher high. Granted, there was a lack of follow through. That makes me cautious of a rising wedge. And I actually have not tried to draw a rising wedge yet, so let's see what this looks like. It looks like this. That's worth paying attention to. If this were to break bear, I would be a lot less interested in AVAX, because that would mean that a bull break of that equilibrium on the US dollar pairing is a lot less likely if this is indeed, ooh, look at that touch too. If this is indeed a rising wedge, got to be cautious. But that's not impacting the current trade that I'm in. That's impacting the bigger picture weekly equilibrium. Keep your eye on the Metaverse names. Their monthly charts. I love Mana as this current setup. Look at this monthly chart. So again, massive breakout to all-time highs. We don't have an EMA 12 because we don't have enough price history, but we've got a retracement that is, wrong buttons, from the all-time low to the all-time high here. We pulled back almost 618 retracement, which is almost the golden pocket. We're scouting a monthly higher low, long story short. And I absolutely think we should be looking for an entry on that monthly higher low. I love this 12-hour falling wedge. I am looking for a Mana entry on a 12-hour higher low. This pattern is beautiful. Look at all these touches of a downtrending support line. Look at all these touches of a downtrending resistance line, and look where we stand. I would love to reject, pull back, scout an entry in the low 290s, maybe 280s. And what I want to see is a higher low and then a bull break of this pattern. That would be step one for the potential of a monthly higher low being set. We'll need a lot more follow through from there. That's baby step number one. So I'm scouting a 12-hour higher low entry on Mana. Mana BTC is much stronger. If Mana BTC holds weekly EMA 12, these bulls are just fine, and they are strong. So if I'm looking for a Mana USD entry and we are still holding Mana BTC 12-hour EMA, that's the green light signal for me. Sand already made a bull break. I think we were watching this pattern from the video 2 days ago. Forget exactly what I say in the chat room versus what I say in videos, but this was definitely one we were watching. Big follow through. Daily trend change will be needed. Scout the monthly higher lows. We haven't even started monthly consolidation. We're on a second monthly inside bar in a row. Like everybody else, we will need a daily trend change. But again, we're coming from a much healthier standpoint on the monthly time frame than a lot of names, including Bitcoin. Sand BTC, weekly equilibrium. Looking for the weekly higher low. This is an extremely strong chart still. The Metaverse names have not lost their mojo for the bulls. When you go crazy breakouts, you do have to consolidate on longer term time frames, but longer term time frames, I see no red flags. I will certainly let you know when I do, but until then, we are looking for monthly higher lows and seeing continued strength in the BTC pairings of these Metaverse names. Link, I'm watching to fade a bit. Link has been a lead bull. This is a rising wedge. We broke bearish from it. We back tested and rejected from it. Still strong on the daily, but again, just looking for bulls to lose their mojo a bit because the bulls were in complete control and one of the strongest names for a solid week. And now that we're bouncing, and now that there's some confidence returning, at least in the last 2 days to the crypto space, money's going elsewhere. And Link BTC lost the 4-hour uptrend before the Link US dollar pairing did. Technically speaking, we still have not lost the 4-hour higher lows since this low here. We got a low, and this is all one pullback, higher low, and we're watching for a confirmed 4-hour downtrend if we get it. But Link BTC is already showing us a little bit of weakness initially. Daily consolidation much more clearly underway than the US dollar pairing. So again, there's not notable weakness in Link USD. I'm just seeing the first signs of the spotlight between the US dollar and BTC pairing weakening a little bit. So long story short, summary, we need daily trend changes on a lot of names. We have not topped out on the bounce yet, but we're watching for signs of it. I'm watching the broader market for clues. We're watching the dollar for clues. If we change daily trends, that's another check mark for the bulls as far as a short-term victory, but that has to happen now, and that's what we're looking for into the weekend from here. I'm scouting an ETH USD 12-hour higher low entry if the ETH BTC pair cooperates and stays strong. I'm scouting a Mana 12-hour higher low entry. Do not fall asleep on the Metaverse monthly charts. I will exit AVAX and Luna when I see signs of weakness on the shorter term time frames. Again, I'm just going to lock in this pretty solid win and then move on to the next trades. Maybe I'll dish out or trade out Luna and AVAX, and I'll look to ETH and Mana. I don't want to be in too many trades at once. I always prefer just 2 names at a time. That's about it. Do good things. Hopefully this is helpful, and we will see you soon. Don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. The market, yes, it's rigged. We've known that from day one. This is a rigged game. We have to accept that, and we have to ride the coattails of the direction that big money wants to go. And big money wants it to go up right now. And as long as that's the case, that's the direction we should be looking. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. So Adventure Time, we are still in Utah, heading to Bryce Canyon National Park, hanging out in some caves and in some canyons in the meantime, and an otherworldly place. So in Bryce Canyon, it's known for all these, I think they call them hoodoos, but it looks like those sand castles you make when you put the wet sand in your hand at the beach and you dribble to make those really cool shapes. And these are just eroded kinds of rock from rain and time and wind. They create some really cool patterns and some nice colors and landscapes. Sand castles bigger than you are. Bristlecone pines. These are the oldest trees in the world. A lot of people think that redwoods are the oldest trees in the world, but it's actually bristlecone pines. And there are bristlecone pine trees that were alive 2,000 years ago. I think the oldest one was around when Troy was happening, something absurd. But there are trees that were around when Jesus was doing his thing. That's a pretty cool looking, I mean, it just looks like a castle. Someone built a castle out of big rock. And it's wind that makes these holes and how they erode. Nice little looking hole. Some morning mist making things nice and eerie. And I ended up camping at a spot. There was a fire that ran through here. So this is where I was camping. And to have that mist going on, and there were these cows in some national parks and national lands, they have agreements with ranchers that allow for grazing and things like that. So there was this little herd of cows where I was camping off in the mist, and it was this eerie but very cool spot. This was the overlook of right where I was camping. The colors were insane. Again, the camera doesn't do a great job here, but the purples and orange and green and gray, pretty much a rainbow in the rock. And that's about that. Next, we're going down to Las Vegas. And there's actually some decent nature spots outside of Las Vegas. Lake Mead, and there's a mountain range, I forget what it's called. But I went to Las Vegas. I had a couple friends there, and he was a pro, quote-unquote, pro poker player at the time, and I've been playing poker since high school. Made a video because there are huge amounts of correlation between trading and playing poker. So that's on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But Went and lived in Vegas for about a month on this road trip, just bouncing around between camping and crashing on my friend's couch. And we'll get to that next time. See you then.